just a boy without a prayer. No, I wouldn't have a heart on fire if it wasn't for a heart of gold. Wouldn't never walk that wire if it wasn't for her never letting go. I can't stand tall like a king, but if it wasn't for her giving everything, I'd be nothing. I'd be nothing without a woman.
Dean Brody, A Man Without a Woman, up one spot to number 11. On the other side of the break, we will break into the top 10 with Riley Green and shine a spotlight on new music from Dallas Smith. Thanks for hanging the countdown. We'll be right back.
Counting down the 20 hottest country songs. Paul McGuire's Country Countdown will be right back.
Heck yeah. Country on my radio.
You're hanging with New Country 92.3.
When life takes an unexpected turn, experience matters. I'm Jennifer Donovan of J. Donovan Law Group. For decades, I've been helping New Brunswick families protect what matters most. With offices across the province, experienced legal advice is always close to home. From divorce to wills to criminal defense, immigration, mediation, you deserve strong representation. Call 506-406-8080. Hiring J. Donovan Law Group sends a strong message.
No need to check the calendar and no need to dust off the snowblower, but it's true. Leon's Boxing Week is Back event is happening now. Save 50% off the comfy Dallas reclining sofa, only $9.99, or the Lucy reclining sofa, only $7.49. Save up to 50% on select clearance mattresses, like the Sealy Correct Comfort 6 Firm Queen mattress, only $7.99. Plus, get in early for door crasher specials. Don't miss Leon's Boxing Week is Back event. Visit Leon's or leons.ca. Leon's, that's comfortable.
Hey everyone, it's TJ Medor at Riverview Ford. I have some exciting news. CPO is back. Every certified pre-owned vehicle receives a thorough 172-point inspection backed by a 2-year, 40,000-kilometer warranty and extremely competitive low interest rates. With hundreds of vehicle options available, we have the perfect vehicle for you. Our amazing and dedicated sales team strives to ensure that buying your next vehicle is both exciting and seamless. Visit us today at Riverview Ford Lincoln, 970 Hanwell Road, Fredericton.
Honey, let's get away.
Did you book a cottage?
No. Lotto 649 did.
The next gold ball draw is $24 million. Or the guaranteed million, plus the classic $5 million jackpot. Someone will win. Could it be you? Must be 19 or over.
CFRK FM, a Stingray radio station. Download the free Stingray music app and listen to New Country 92.3.
Indulge in downtown Fredericton. The sun is shining and your perfect day is waiting in New Brunswick's beautiful capital. Start with the rich aroma of breakfast at a cozy cafe. Then wander the historic streets to discover hidden gems and incredible boutique shopping. By noon, relax with good company on a vibrant, bustling patio. As the sun sets, treat yourself to an unforgettable dinner. Experience the magic of downtown Fredericton today. See what's happening downtown and explore local businesses, events, and more at downtownfredericton.ca.
The more you save, the more you have left for the things you love. Fredericton Nissan is where quality meets affordability. Our pre-owned vehicles are always the lowest priced in town, while protecting you with clean history records on every vehicle. Come find your perfect pre-owned match on our lot. Not just Nissans, we have a huge selection of all makes of used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Buy more and pay less with the all-new Fredericton Nissan, 250 Bishop Drive.
Fredericton Nissan, we deliver for you. It's a Countdown Extra. On Paul McGuire's Country Countdown.
It was a scorching hot day in Middle Tennessee last Wednesday, but the assembled crowd didn't mind at all because what they were waiting for was definitely going to be worth it. Lined up in the parking lot of Dolly's Tennessean Travel Stop, a brand new rest stop just over an hour outside of Nashville, the reward would be an audience with Dolly Parton herself. At around 2:50 p.m. local time on Wednesday, June the 24th, Dolly walked out through the front door of her first ever travel stop to greet the people and explain why her name was on the sign. Food, live music, a general store, gas pumps, a dog park, and some very clean bathrooms. It's the nicest travel stop you ever did see. It was her first public appearance in months, and it was a huge success. The amazing thing is, Dolly just made a travel stop, which is normally a quick stop on the way to somewhere else. She just turned a travel stop into a destination. Here is Dolly and 9 to 5.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets, the traffic starts jumping with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely getting by, it's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you're ready. 9 to 5. For service and devotion, you would think that I would deserve a fair promotion. Want to move ahead, but the boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me. They let you dream just to watch him shatter. You're just a step on the boss man's ladder, but you got dreams he'll never take away. Same boat with a lot of your friends, waiting for the day you're
Welcome, race fans. We've got the big show, the SLMS Linex 150 race. We have around 60 race cars here from all over the Maritimes. The Gallons Auto Salvage Sharpshooters, Sportsmen, and Linex Pro Stocks are all here to do battle and gain position in the championship standings. Going to have a lot of fun today, along with the hot rods as well. We're getting ready for the opening parade lap, and then we're going to... Well, we're going to have some fun here today, and, it's going to be exciting. I don't want to spoil anything about the soccer game. If you want to know or you don't want to know, I don't know. But it is great to be here today in the Geary Woods on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Lots to look forward to. Lots of great still merch as well. Some exclusive Ricky Bobby merch available, limited amount. In the office, you can go check out as well. That was a great race last weekend. We're happy to have you here. And, of course, the next race I have in my book is July 17th with the Enduro Clash 200, sponsored by Labrador Trucking. They're going to put on a big-time show for everybody here. So thanks for coming out. Stay hydrated. If you've learned that by now this week. Here in Atlantic Canada, it's been a scorcher. I know the back of my legs from golfing the other day can prove it. They are very red. Sunscreen is your friend, and we all need to remember that. But a great show on the way for you today. Excited to see the hot rods, of course, the SLMS, the big race at the end, the Linex 150 feature, as I'm going to be joined up here by a couple of greats. I said when you own a jazz club and you have Frank Sinatra come in, you make sure he's on the mic, and Regan is going to certainly be helping me out here. And we've also got Dylan here for the hot rods as well. We're just getting everybody lined up. We'll do a parade lap and then get going. We'll do the national anthem before the big feature for the SLMS Linex 150. Thanks for coming out here today. Like I said, stay hydrated, stay cool, and get ready to have some fun and cheer louder than those engines can roar, and they get pretty loud. Once again, thank you, fans, for being here. The parade lap's getting underway. You got the Linex pickup truck right at the front there, along with the Speedway 660 Riverview Ford Lincoln vehicle right up front. We got lots of options for you here today over at The Fix. Make sure you stop on in for delicious poutine, hot dog, cold beverage, so much more. They got pepperoni pizza, nachos with cheese, and frings. Crystal, Candace, and the smiling folks in there are going to help you out. A reminder, no smoking or vaping inside the grandstands. This is law, so please respect that and step outside the fence to smoke or vape. We thank you for your cooperation and patience with the fire ban in effect frequently. Please make sure you butt out before walking away. Really important to keep our forest safe. All right, once these vehicles get going for our opening parade lap, we'll do a little practicing of your cheering abilities out there today. We want to hear you cheer. Come on, let's hear you. Are you ready for a great day of racing? That was a good start. But I see somebody from the window here that did not cheer, so let's try that one more time. Are you ready for some racing? Okay, you guys are there. That was good. Pretty good. We'll get you fired up here once again very, very soon as we get the cars going on the opening parade lap. The Speedway 660 truck is looking antsy. And here we go. Line X to follow. The ATV ready to roll the hook. Hopefully limited action today for the hook. Hopefully gets a week off. But always ready to go. We got a best crew out there ready to get things going and keep it going, as you know, here at Speedway 660.
You know, I was gonna say, Dave, that the temperatures here today in the Geary Woods has certainly lit a fire underneath our race fans here.
Yes, well put, Regan. Well put. Going to be a hot track out there today. How do tires operate on a day like today? A lot of changes, extra changes.
Oh, very slick. Now, to be fair, yeah, cars were struggling in the first two practices maybe here ahead of the Line X 150 for the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series, but we have seen times and lap speeds start to get a little bit better. Cars are starting to get faster. There's more rubbers being put into this racetrack, but it's still going to be slick. Of course, we've had a little bit more cloud cover coming over the place here, and as we had all the cars from every division here today get on the racetrack, put more rubber, more grip onto this place, it's starting to open things up a little bit more, but nonetheless, it's still hot. The engines in all these cars are certainly going to be red hot and fiery here today, Dave.
I always find it funny when I go down after the race to go interview the winners, my shoes stick right to the track like it's 3 a.m. at the bar. Or when I used to work at a movie theater, also very comparable after the fans have all left. Very, very sticky down there, and it's going to be another one today with the heat the way it is. The drivers staying cool, hopefully, and everybody out there staying cool as well. Stay hydrated. We don't want any lightheadedness out there. We just want you cheering and having fun as we have the parade lap go around and around here, and we're going to be ready to kick things off with the first heat before you know it. As I hand it over to Regan, the SLMS Line X heats are going to be the first one to the track.
And Dylan's also here. Do you want to have an opportunity to talk?
Oh, hi. I'm just trying to stay cool as best as I can, standing in the AC. It's great to be back up here at Speedway 660 for the Heart of a Champion Hot Rod Classics powered by Kimco. It's been a couple of years for us, Speed Weekend 2024, but we are here for the Fredericton One Stop Trailer Sales Classic presented by East Coast Wheels. Enough about us for a bit, though. Yeah. We're going to get into some heat racing with the Super Late Model Series.
It'll eventually be your time, Dylan, of course. Again, thanks very much. Thanks very much, everybody. I'm Regan McCauley, the voice of the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series, and on to the racetrack are the cars and stars of the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series. We are glad to be back here in the Geary Woods for round number 4 on the year. It is the Line X Fredericton 150. Again, a big thanks to also, it is the local title sponsor of Speedway 660's Pro Stock division here, also coming on to be the title sponsor for round number 4 of the series here at Speedway 660. Our second and final time here this year. We are here for the Easy Clean Pressure Systems 150 back in late May, where Prince Edward Island's Tanton Woolridge picked up his first career victory on the series, first feature win on the series. And certainly that's one of the big storylines relating with him here today, of course. At the advice of medical professionals with health issues, Tanton Woolridge out of Summerside, Prince Edward Island, unfortunately not behind the wheel of his 01 car here today. But we do have a backup driver. It is none other than our previous winner at Oysterbed Speedway in the Universal Truck and Trailer 150. You would recognize him in car number 83 for King Competition, Chris Forney Remax. It's Corey Hall. But today he is behind the wheel of the 01 machine, so he is going to help Tanton Woolridge stay in the mix and maybe stay as the points leader at the moment. It's 10 points separating the top three right now between Tanton Woolridge, Dylan Gosby, and Ryan Messer. Or Megan Messer, then Gosby. But to start off the day ahead of our 150-lap feature at the very end of the night, we have 10-lap heat races to decide the starting lineup for the Line X 150. Championship points are on the line, 10 points going to the winner, and then it decreases by 1 point through the field, and then there's also passing points. So again, championship points will be given to these drivers, and also there is a passing point system to determine the starting lineup. It's basically whoever makes the most passes in each heat race could possibly start on the EIT Race Radios poll, and also come out of here with $150 cash from Brent Rowley at EIT Race Radios, who was set up, by the way, just outside of turn number 4. Passing points have nothing to do with the championship, by the way. So it'll be 3 heat races, 6 cars in each one of them. We have 18 cars here today. St. John's Clark Moore is in car number 54. Devin Snell, a former winner at Speedway 660. The Power Store in the Snell Group Realty, number 10, starts second. The 03 is Steve Halpin. 81 is Ian Rasmussen. 16 is Dylan Gosby. And the 43 is Hudson Weston. We'll get into more hometowns and sponsors and whatnot maybe towards the end of this one. But we're racing for the first time here today. Green flag in the air. Snell's going to look to clear down the back straightaway. Moore still sticking along that left rear quarter panel there through 3 and 4. Snell's going to lead lap number 1. And that's going to be a +1 for him, by the way, if we go back to the passing point system. Moore still hanging on close. Oh, there's a touch there to the back of Snell. The 10 saves it out of 4. Moore playing it a little bit aggressive here. He might want to try to go for a heat race victory here, which would be his first on the series. He is our back-to-back Castrol Rookie of the Race Contingency Prize Award winner. Picked up a top 10 back at Oysterbed Speedway 3 weeks ago. Been having a solid rookie season here so far. That is the reigning Speedway 660 Line X Pro Stock champion, as the whole field's going to go single file now. With 4 laps complete, as I say that, Ian Rasmussen goes for a slide on the front straightaway. Clam Digger's caution on the Speedway. Clam Digger's caution coming out for car number 81. The Hope City, New Denmark Auto, Rasmussen's Auto, and many other sponsors on car number 81. That is New Denmark's Ian Rasmussen, a former track champion. The Snell Group Realty and the Power Store on car number 10 for Devin Snell to Baxter's Corner. Kelson Industrial Group, AJW Mechanical sponsors for St. John's Clark Moore, otherwise known as the Shark. Halpin Excavating, GD Fabrication, Race Cars, CRF Chassis, AJ Millette and Sons on car number 03, Steve Halpin, also at St. John, New Brunswick. 16, Nav Canada, Picket Care, King Competition, Clam Diggers Restaurant, Chapman Brothers Construction, Heinz Paving on the 16 of Dylan Gosby, our inaugural series champion from Cornwall, Prince Edward Island. The Bayview, Kenworth 43 of Hudson Weston, and St. Martin's, New Brunswick. And then we already talked about Rasmussen's. The pace truck's going to head off, and the drivers will go into the on-the-gas restart zone. First time using that here today. 3 of 10 laps completed. Devin Snell is your control car at the green flag. Deja vu, Devin Snell. Early lead. Oh, Weston's trying to find a gap underneath Gosby there towards the back of the field, but Gosby's going to shut the door. The 43 backs off. That was back in about 4th, 5th, about somewhere in those positions. As the top 4 going to clear, 10, 54, 03, and 16. Rasmussen and Weston are wheel to wheel through 3 and 4, and at the line, Weston barely got 5th there. Halpin sideways. That allows Gosby to sneak in underneath. Gosby loose as well at a 2. as it's all Devin Snell and Clark Moore up ahead. In the top two positions, Snell was the fastest car in our third and final practice on the day, by the way, with a 13.861. Each practice has seen all these drivers pick up a little bit of speed here. As in our first practice, we only had Ryan Messer just barely just outside the 13s of the 14.009, and then we started getting into the 13s a lot more into our second and third practices. So it's certainly still a heated racetrack, but a lot of rubber put in from the earlier practices with all divisions here at Speedway 660. And of course, the cloud cover. We had a full sun out here earlier today this morning when we opened up the track, as there's the white flag from flagman Tim Elliott for car number 10, Devin Snell. Led 90 laps back at the Easy Clean 150 in May, and the car just completely fell off in the second half of the race, and he's going to look to rebound here, maybe get another win here today. Checkered flag, yes, in heat race competition, Devin Snell is going to, as he'll try to go for a second career series feature win in the Gary Woods later today in the Line X 150. It's the Snell Group Realty, the Power Store, Brownsville Farms. Car number 10, again a former series winner here in the Gary Woods last year. Folks, a round of applause to your first winner on the day. It's the 10 of Devin Snell. So we had a couple of maneuvers in heat race number 1, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays with the passing point system. So another 6 cars for heat race number 2 as Devin Snell's going to head back to the pits. Heat race number 2 cars onto the racetrack. He's been consistent in our practices earlier, and he did lead the first practice on the day. It was car number 1 in practice number 1 for Service Master Clean Moncton. From Harvey, New Brunswick, they call that car Daisy, apparently. I saw that on Facebook. It's Ryan Messer. Good to see this driver back on the series. He made 1 star with us last year. The 14 is Andrew Rogers out of St. John, New Brunswick for R.A. Lawrence Engineering Limited, a former pole sitter of this race 3 years ago. The Easy Clean Pressure Systems number 97 is Chris Duncan out of Hampton, New Brunswick. East Coast Auto Salvage number 30 is... Or no, that's Lonnie Somerville, actually. I got the car and the colors mixed up. The 23's Lonnie Somerville's. They're going to come to the green flag. The Doherty Right-of-Way Services and Warren's Auto Care, number 23, Lonnie Somerville at Barnesville. And then the 8 of Prince Edward Island's Ironman, Ken Vincent. And the 32 for East Coast International, it's Chris Hughes at Stratford PEI. 1 lap completed here in heat race number 2 as Ryan Messer is going to lead the way. He started on pole for this one, and if he were to win this heat race, by the way, he would get a +1 because each heat race win does give you a +1 in the passing point system. If you start on pole and you win your heat race, there you go. That'll help you with your chances in the starting lineup of starting closer up to the front. Messer's pulling away as Rogers is ahead of Duncan, Vincent, and Somerville all in a tight pack. Coming out of turn number 4 now to 3 of 10 laps completed. Somerville going to try to use that outside against Duncan. Using that as a pick, there's Rogers. Blocking off a little bit there. Yeah, he's playing a lot of aggressive defense. And again, that's kind of blocking off the inside cars here. That's going to maybe keep allowing Somerville to capitalize on the outside. Messer continues to lead. Rogers still hanging on in second, although Chris Duncan has been looking hard behind that number 14. Still side by side with the 23 down the back straightaway as we are halfway through this one and coming to 6 laps completed. Duncan's been giving a couple of bumps to the back of the 14 as he's still putting the block on the Hampton driver. Now Vincent to the outside of the 97, and it's double file 2nd through 5th. Chris Hughes now starting to get within the mix. Again, seeing how tight this is, again, knock on wood, we don't have something similar to what happened back at Oysterbed Speedway during heat race number 1 for the Universal Truck and Enduro 150, where we had basically the entire field in a heat race pile up in the early laps. And one of those drivers, or two of those drivers involved, as a matter of fact, were the 8 and the 32. They both were able to compete in the feature, although the 32, they're coming down the front, and as there's contact, and the 14 goes around. The 8 about got caught up in that as well, but was able to keep his car straight. Clam Digger's caution. A lot of bumper car going on there between Andrew Rogers, Ken Vincent, Chris Duncan, a whole bunch of those guys in the battle for second. They were all trying to find a way past the 14. It's almost a ticking time bomb basically just blew up right there. So I believe that is going to put us in a 2-lap shootout to decide this one. Might be green-white checker territory. But it's still car number 1 in position number 1. McLaughlin Overhead Doors, Waterfront Pub and Eatery, Sears and Dana's Collision Center, and many other sponsors on that car from Harvey, New Brunswick. Messer still looking for his first podium finish, feature podium finish on the year. Has been victorious in heat race competition. He came close at Oysterbed Speedway a couple weeks back at the Universal Truck and Trailer 150. And he's coming off a local Speedway 660 Line X Pro Stock Division feature win. That was on Ricky Bobby 150 weekend. As the day goes on, by the way, obviously Dave gave you all the reminders about merchandise, the Fix Canteen. Obviously, make sure you're hydrated throughout the day. We also have towards the entrance here to the racetrack, we have the On the Gas Apparel trailer. One of our platinum partners on the series, our merchandise/apparel provider for the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series. A big thanks to Dave Oblinus and Tammy Alain. So for all your Easy Clean Super Late Model Series merch, you can head on over there towards the gates. And you can also check out the Easy Clean van and tent up there as well. Again, the title sponsor for the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series for a 3rd consecutive year. Again, Easy Clean, a manufacturer of high-quality pressure washer systems. They're based in Sussex. They've been operating since 1982. You can visit them online at easyclean.com or on Facebook at Easy Clean Pressure Systems Limited. Of course, Clam Diggers Restaurant and Brightcon Construction, some other platinum sponsors on the series, of course. Clam Diggers, one of Prince Edward Island's best food offerings, the best seafood one I can tell you in particular. They're located in Cardigan, Prince Edward Island. And Brightcon Construction, based in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, a heavy civil contractor specializing in excavation, water and sewer, road building, and many infrastructure projects. And, of course, a big thanks to Line X Fredericton for hopping on as the title sponsor of today's event. We'll talk more about them here as we have a 2-lap shootout to decide heat race number 2. Ryan Messer is the control car into the On the Gas restart zone. Lonnie Somerville's to his outside. Green flag. Somerville's getting a lot of good passing points here as he started back in 4th, and he's up to 2nd. There's the white flag in the air for Ryan Messer. If we count both local and regional touring competition, Messer's trying to stay undefeated, whether it's a heat race or a feature, and he's going to come around trying to build an even more momentum from last weekend. Checkered flag, Ryan Messer is your heat race number 2 winner. So Messer, just like Snell did earlier, will drive Daisy into Riverview Ford Lincoln Victory Lane. Oh, you beat me to the round of applause. I know we have a lot of Ryan Messer fans here. I want to hear the Ryan Messer crowd in particular cheer the loudest when I say, one more time, give it up for Ryan Messer. Thank you. Again, Line X Fredericton, title sponsor of today's event. They're located at 116 Greenview Drive in Hamwell, New Brunswick, where they offer a full line of protective coatings and vehicle accessories. You can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, or visit them online at linex.com. As now heat race number 3 cars make their way into the racetrack. Another 6-car affair for 10 laps. Starting position number 1, it's the East Coast Auto Salvage Car Crushing. Number 30, the driver from Bucktouche, it's Marcel LeBlanc, Castrol Rookie of the Year contender. In car number 01 for Chris Fournier Remax, Livingston Steel, King Competition, many other sponsors. It's a substitute driver behind the wheel, as I was talking about earlier. Of course, Tan Woolridge out of the car with health issues. It's Corey Hall from Jolicoeur, New Brunswick, our previous winner on the series. Again, our well wishes continue to go to Tanton Woolridge. We hope to have him back behind the wheel of that points-leading car at Oysterbit Speedway in August. The 11 is Cal Hatfield of Quispamsis, New Brunswick. The 20 is Greg Fay out of Oak Bay, New Brunswick. The 26 is Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia's Braden Langell. And the 88 is Rick Jabukta Rhodes, Kevin Moore, green flag. As there goes Corey Hall. Past LeBlanc into the race lead as he'll lead lap number 1. This is Hall's first time back in the Geary Woods in 2 years. He did not make an appearance in 2025. Hasn't won a race in the Geary Woods in 3 years. Won one of our races back in our inaugural season in a wicked battle against Ashton Tucker in the closing laps. Hasn't won a race in New Brunswick in 2 years as well. Mike Stevens Memorial winner at Petty Raceway. As he is starting to pull away from the field, coming to 4 of 10 laps completed. LeBlanc still hanging out in second. LeBlanc actually noticed a little bit of speed out of that number 30 car's practices were going on. He was almost in the top 5 during one of them. As there are the cross flags in the air. Our flagman Tim Elliott. Also cross flags in the air on the 2026 season as well, by the way. As it's all Corey Hall out front in relief for Tanton Woolridge. LeBlanc still second. Kevin Moore looking underneath Greg Fay. As Moore has been making his way up through the field. Might see him maybe starting up towards the front here for the Line X 150. He and Greg Fay are still door-to-door battling hard for that third and final podium position in this heat race. Third and final one, by the way, for the series. Moore chased it up just a little bit there in turn number 1, about right on the door of the 20 of Greg Fay. Still chasing up just a little bit, battling a tight race car, it looks like. I know that car was very, very loose on corner exit during practices earlier, especially early on whenever there wasn't as much grip in the racetrack, not as much rubber put down, and the sun was blasting a lot more. There's the white flag in the air for Corey Hall. LeBlanc still comfortable in second. They're going to be battling hard still for that third place position. It might be a photo finish between those two drivers. Corey Hall's going to take the checker flag. LeBlanc second at the line. Fay over Moore. Into Riverview Ford, Lincoln, Victory Lane, Troy Burke, Whitecap, Charlottetown, Rainers Automotive, JS Refrigeration, SGK Atlantic Limited, GSD Utility Services Incorporated. Some of the other sponsors on car number 101 in relief for Tanton Woolridge. Folks, give it up for Jolicoeur, New Brunswick's Corey Hall. Now, I do say from Jolicoeur, New Brunswick. He obviously is now a resident in the Pictou County of Nova Scotia. So you could say we do have 2 Nova Scotians in this field, but either way, good to have Corey Hall with us on the mainland for the first time in 2 years. Hasn't won on the mainland with us in 3 years. Has won the last 5 of our races at Oyster Bed Speedway. It's a bit of a different story here when it comes to Speedway 660, Petty International Raceway, etc., etc. So, and hopefully at some point today, we will find out what the starting lineup is going to be for the Line X Fredericton 150. We will maybe tease the EIT Race Radio's pole sitter. For the rest of the lineup, of course, we will save that for driver introductions at the very end of the night ahead of the Line X 150. So, of course, us at the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series, we will be back at the very end of the show for the big feature event. Again, it's the Line X Fredericton 150, round number 4 on the year for the 2026 Easy Clean Super Late Model Series. 18 of Atlantic Canada's best going to do battle. Over 150 green flag laps for $4,000 and many crucial championship points. Dave, you're back in the spotlight now.
Thank you, Regan. All right, there we go. Our first heats of the day are over with. We got the hot rods with the Hot Roddy. Dylan Langill is going to be coming up as well to announce. But here we are, moving on to the Gallons Auto Salvage Sharpshooter heats. Couple of heats here for you that'll also run 10 laps out there on the track. You got Braden Carr in the 74, Stephen Rose in the 44, the W00, Brian Suddy. 72 is Dustin Hamilton, 10 is Pearson DeLaVille, 22 is Brandon Landry, and the 8 car is Avery Underwood. Up in the Tower of Power is Tim Elliott, and he's ready to wave that green flag. Let's go! Braden Carr holding that first lead, but the 72 car of Dustin Hamilton looking to get a line up against Stephen Rose out of turn 2. Whoa, a little bit. Now this could be a bit of what we were talking about with the hot track there. Already some drifting there by the 74 car, Braden Carr, so those tires going to be very sticky, very slick out there today. And there he goes, holding that line. Ten laps on this heat. We have 2 for you in the 4-cylinder. Yeah, we can see the cars moving and shifting around a little bit, but doing a great job of keeping control. They all are, but Braden Carr is the one on the lead, 3 laps down of the 10-lap heat. Braden, in fact, getting a little more distance now, and the closest battle seems to be between Dustin Hamilton in the 72 car and Stephen Rose in the 44.